Welcome back, guys, to part 2 of our little QB Carousel Hot Topic pod that we're doing today. And right now, we're going to be talking about Lamar Jackson and where he can end up. But before we do that, guys, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at the Eye Test Pod on YouTube and like us on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We put stuff out there all the time. It would be greatly appreciated. All right. So, John, seems as every day goes by, it gets more and more likely that Lamar Jackson will not be a Raven. There has been some recent information from Stephen A. Smith that, the Lamar and the Ravens are over $100 million off in guaranteed money that they're searching for. And then there's Lamar Jackson isn't even looking for fully guaranteed money now, or he's never asked for it. The whole situation is just a mess. And so from the end of the playoffs, from the end of the Super Bowl until now, what does your gut tell you? What happens with Lamar Jackson?
I think he's gone. I'm sold on it. I don't think he's going to be a Raven next year. And quite honestly, let's say they did pay him. What does the chemistry look like between Lamar and management? Like, it can't be that good. It just seems like it's a little bit dramatic. You don't hear a lot of players on the team fighting for a Lamar Jackson contract for the Ravens. So I'm not sure what his locker room presence is. Maybe you have some insight on that. I mean, I certainly don't hear rumors that he's a bad locker room guy, but it just doesn't seem like he's focused on being a Raven. It seems like he's strictly focused on that bag.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't seem like that is the best path to go for someone who's interested in Super Bowls.
No, I agree with you 100%. I think the thing that stands out most for me is Lamar didn't even travel with the team to Cincinnati for that playoff game, for that wild card game. So Lamar was at home and he said that he was rehabbing. But between you and me, I truly think that he could have played in that game, but he made a business decision to not play. And I think if we win that playoff game, I think Lamar is gone 100%. If we won that playoff game with Tyler Huntley, I think Lamar is gone. But you're right. The issue itself has gotten stale. It's just uncomfortable. It's like walking on eggshells. And the thing with me about that guaranteed money is if they do give him the $250 million guarantee that he's looking for, the only way you can justify that contract is you are winning me a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you are not complaining about any of your receivers, you're not complaining about any of your supporting cast because all the money is with you. And the Ravens, they have been a great organization since they were indoctrinated into the league back in 95. And so I just think they're looking at this situation like, first of all, how can I justify giving somebody 250, 230, 200 plus whatever million guaranteed for someone in the last 2 years who has not been available when it was crunch time? Lamar has played a max of 12 games last year and this year. He's been hurt for down the stretch in the playoffs. He hasn't been available. So you want me to guarantee all this money when you can't even guarantee me that you'll be on the field when the games matter most? So I think we're definitely going to shop him. I think it's just a matter of who's going to be the highest bidder, who's going to give us the most stuff, and what we're going to get in return. So it pains me because I do love Lamar. I think he's an excellent football player. He's a great dude in the locker room. I know up until all this stuff, teammates loved him, and everybody loved him. But yeah, when you get drafted and your first thing is they're going to get a Super Bowl out of me, all I care about is winning Super Bowls, all I care about is this, and now all it seems is it's the money. All you care about is the money.
And it's been that way we've been talking about Lamar Jackson's contract for almost a year now. I mean, the whole thing started around the draft last year, I believe. And, we all thought he was going to get paid before the season, and he didn't. And he made a wonderful remark where he's like, I don't want to worry about that now. I want to focus on winning. And he came out that first month of football and was slinging the ball. And remember, all the narratives everywhere was like, Lamar Jackson's proving that he has an arm. He can also run the ball too. Then he gets injured, and it all changed. It was like, right, he got injured from in the middle of the season, right?
Yeah, he got injured against Denver at home like week 10.
And then after that, it was like, I'm probably not going to play the rest of the season. And when I do, I'm not running the ball. And then he like lost his arm. It was just like a whole mental thing after that, I believe, where he was strictly focused on business. I think that was the turning tide there was once he got hurt in Denver. It was just like Lamar, because his fantasy points showed it too. I mean, let's pull this up real quick. So Lamar Jackson, I mean, he came out slinging 22 points, 43, 40, then 15, 15, 16, 10, 21, 16. Oh, so he didn't get hurt till week 13.
Yeah, it
I-
was later.
So he did just start to slow down after that first month of football, and he had a little bit of a resurgence against Tampa Bay in week 8. Then he had the bye week, and then 16-23 against Jacksonville, and then a very early injury against Denver where he only scored 2 points, and then we did not see him again.
Yeah, and it was, being a diehard Raven fan, it was very, very apparent that Lamar was putting so much pressure on himself to perform because everybody knew that he wanted the guaranteed money. As soon as the Deshaun Watson thing came out, he even came out and said, like, I want something like Deshaun Watson. I want that kind of contract. And he just put so much pressure on himself to do so. But the thing that really gets me here is that he has his mother as his agent.
I know.
And don't get me wrong, I love my mother to death, and I would do anything for her. But if I'm Lamar Jackson, I'd be like, Mom, you are going to be a very, very wealthy woman no matter what. You do not have to be my agent.
Seriously, my mom doesn't know how to make me $250 million. There's people who went to school for this shit.
Yeah,
Like, this deal could be over with if you had a freaking real agent.
Oh, it would 100% be over. We wouldn't even be talking about it anymore. It would have been fixed before last season.
I agree.
Lamar Jackson would have been inked. It would have been, everything would have been fine. But there's so much, I think what people don't understand is there's so much emotion in the conversations now because it's his mother. I mean, this is your son. And in your mind, your son is worth 400 million. So you are actually taking a pay cut saying that he's worth 250.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not how this is supposed to go. So I'm at the point now where whatever is best for the team is, I think, what the Ravens should do. And I think trading him and getting a king's ransom, I'm telling you right now, Atlanta, you're super interested. Guess what? Give me 2 firsts and Drake London.
Ooh.
I'll take that.
Then,
I don't need 4 or 5 picks.
could you get a top quarterback with the Falcons pick?
They're drafting.
We'll rock with Huntley for a season, and
Dude, I wouldn't be over the moon about rocking with Huntley for a season, but if I got Drake London and I got 2 firsts and maybe, Anthony Richardson does fall to us, or like Will Levis falls, or like somebody like that, take a stab. Who cares?
yeah,
And
Stetson Bennett.
Well, we did sign the Georgia offensive coordinator is our new offensive coordinator who worked with Stetson Bennett.
Stetson's a sleeper for me. He's very low in dynasty rankings, at least, and that makes sense because of his age. But it's like, dude, he's experienced and he's looking good. I don't know. That would be pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. So that's where my head's at, to be very honest with you. Whatever's best for the team at this point. Whatever's best for the team. And right now he seems to be more of a distraction than he is anything else.
100%. Yeah, he's distracted them. And I know he was saying that he wants to get paid similar to Deshaun Watson. I'll tell you this, although Lamar Jackson was the number 1 quarterback in fantasy in 2019, so we're talking 4 years ago, Deshaun and he was the quarterback 10 the next year. So in the 5 years that we've had Lamar, he's had 2 quarterback 1 finishes, meaning quarterback 1 through 12 in fantasy. And Deshaun Watson has had 3 quarterback 1 performances where he was the QB 5 3 years in a row, 2018 through 2020. So does Lamar Jackson being the number 1 quarterback equal out to Deshaun Watson being a quarterback 1 3 times? I'm not sure, but I think Deshaun Watson has proven himself more. At least he's more versatile. He's proven that he can be more versatile. The only difference is that Deshaun has had some pretty good receivers. Well, he was on the Texans. He didn't have the best receivers, and he's only played a couple games with the Browns where he actually does have good receivers. And we'll see next year if that's true. But I think I'd rather have Deshaun Watson on my team than Lamar, which is crazy. That's crazy to think.
That is crazy to think, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with you on that, but yeah,
He's
at
got
this
a better
point,
arm.
he does have a good arm, and
Got a
people
better
keep
arm.
talking about Lamar's resume is better than Deshaun Watson, and I'm like, if you take away that MVP, if you take away 2019 season, like, is it really? Is it actually? Lamar
Yeah.
caught fire his second year in the league because nobody knew how to handle a dual threat quarterback like him.
Yeah.
And now people are learning how to do it. And Lamar has only thrown for, I think, 16 and 17 touchdowns respectively in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So what resume are you talking about? You take away that MVP, I think Deshaun Watson has better numbers over his career than Lamar.
Yeah, I do
And
too. I mean, Lamar's rushing yards have gone down since that MVP year 1,200, 1,000, 760, 760. So it's like, and then obviously his amount of games are less in the last 2 years, but his passing yards have gone down really. I mean, not crazy. He kind of hangs out in that mid 2,000 range, but 3,100 passing yards his MVP year with 1,200 rushing yards. And then you just go down to, 28 and 767. It's like, he's declining. And I'm not saying Deshaun Watson is getting better. We just haven't seen anything yet. I don't think Deshaun Watson deserved that contract either.
no, God, no.
And that's honestly what started this whole fucking thing. Is now everyone who isn't anyone wants to get paid like Deshaun Watson. I mean, he set the highest standard. Russell Wilson did it too. Honestly, I probably would have fallen to pay Russell Wilson too. I don't think the Broncos GM is an idiot for paying Russell Wilson. I mean,
Yeah, me neither.
like I said in the last episode, I was calling to pay Russell Wilson over Jalen Hurts in the offseason. Lamar Jackson, if you sign him on your team, you got to make sure, hey, we're giving you this money and you need to win us games and beat it with the drama.
Yeah. Yeah, it's craziness what's happening. I mean, you got freaking Daniel Jones asking for $45 million a year. What is happening? What is going on?
I mean, yeah, it's just the new standard, but we will see where Lamar Jackson goes. I don't think he's going to be a Raven. It looks like Paul doesn't think that he's going to be a Raven either. So if you guys like this video, you can go ahead and press the like button down there or up there. I don't know where it is, but you can also press the subscribe button to get notified when we come out with more content. It could be up there. It could be up there, wherever it is. Just click it. And then go ahead and comment if you think that the Ravens should pay him or let him walk. Thank you guys, and we will see you for our next episode on Carson Wentz. Is he retiring or is he going to go be a backup on another team? Stay tuned. Peace.